Welcome, dear friend, to a quiet corner of our channel, and thank you from the deepest reaches of our heart for choosing to spend your precious time here with us. We have woven for you a gentle story, crafted to serve as a warm, comforting hand, guiding you toward a peaceful night's slumber, helping you to drift off with ease. If, as you journey with us, you find a gentle joy in this quiet tale, please do, right now, lend your support by liking this story, subscribing to our channel, and perhaps sharing a gentle comment, for it helps us continue to share these moments of tranquility. Before we embark upon our silent exploration of the Sun-Kissed Vale, a place where the soil breathes with a gentle warmth, and the very air hums with a subtle, sweet fragrance, we shall first share a moment of gentle breathing to settle your spirit. Now let us invite true comfort to our being. Settle yourself, much like a well-loved book finding its perfect spot on a smooth, dark shelf. Feel your body sink gently into your mattress, or perhaps into the soft cushions of your chair, allowing every part of you to feel utterly supported and at ease. Adjust your blankets, pull them close as if they were a soft, warm hug, and let your pillow cradle your head, making a cozy nook just for you. This is your special time, a gentle evening pilgrimage where all the busy thoughts of the day may simply unfurl and drift away, inviting a quiet calm into your heart, as soft and pervasive as the gentle warmth emanating from the earth itself. Let us share a soothing breath together, much like the slow, contented exhalation of the warm, deep soil. Slowly, gently, draw the air in through your nose, imagining it flowing easily and naturally, like a soft, silvery light filling every corner of your being. Then release it just as gently through your mouth, a soft, almost imperceptible sigh of pure relief. With each slow, deliberate breath, feel your body softening, much like the worn leather of an old book, releasing any small knots of tension you might be holding. Imagine the sweet, warm fragrance of sun-warmed blossoms, the deep sweetness of rich soil, and the subtle caress of a languid zephyr, filling your senses, hushing the small, lingering noises you might have carried from your day. If perchance your thoughts begin to flutter like dust motes in the soft, diffused light of the veil, that is quite all right, dear one. Simply observe them, allowing them to drift by like wisps of mist in a shallow dale, and then with the gentlest kindness, guide your attention back to the steady rhythm of your breathing, or to the quiet comfort of my voice. There is nothing left for you to do now, save for listening and allowing the story to carry you into the deep, dreamless rest you so richly deserve. Feel the earth's low, deep hum, a vibration that resonates with the very song of patience, gently coaxing your own body into a profound state of relaxation. Let any remaining worries simply soften and dissolve, like dew in the morning sun. Now, let us begin our quiet journey into the heart of the Sun-Kissed Vale, where the gentle hum of warm earth and the soft scent of forgotten stories await to guide you into a serene and deeply restful sleep. Chapter 1: Arrival in the Sun-Kissed Vale. The journey concluded not with a fanfare, but with a soft sigh of transition, as if the world itself had exhaled and let go of its hurried pace. Crossing an unseen threshold, the air within the sun-kissed vale felt immediately different, imbued with a palpable softness that seemed to wrap around the senses like a cashmere shawl, a faint yet distinct sweetness, like distant blossoms warmed by an afternoon sun, mingles with the deep, grounding aroma of rich, damp earth, creating an olfactory embrace. As Iris ventured further into this secluded haven, her gaze followed the dance of sunlight that filtered through the ancient, broad-leaved trees. These venerable sentinels of the vale cast intricate shifting patterns upon the ground, creating a living mosaic of light and shadow that felt both comforting and deeply peaceful. She sought a place to simply be, and found it in a quiet clearing, nestled beneath the generous, dappled shade of one particularly majestic tree. Settling herself onto the yielding earth, she felt a subtle, yet undeniable vibration begin to emanate from beneath her, a gentle warmth that seemed to pulse with a slow, steady rhythm. Her first introduction to the valley's uniquely restorative cadence. This was not merely a place to rest, but a sanctuary that actively soothed the very essence of being. The ground beneath Iris offered an extraordinary sense of support, yielding just enough to cradle her form without any sensation of sinking or instability. It felt alive, not in a way that suggested movement, but in its consistent, gentle warmth, reminiscent of a hearth that had held its heat long after the flames had subsided. This warmth was not an external heat applied, but an intrinsic property of the earth itself, a quiet emanating comfort that seemed to speak of deep, nurturing energies. The dappled sunlight overhead, a beautiful interplay of soft golden hues and gentle green shadows, played across her skin, creating a comforting warmth that contrasted softly with the cooler, shaded patches. Her breathing, which had been a little hurried from her journey, began to naturally slow, each inhalation drawing in the sweet, earthy air, and each exhalation a soft release, like a gentle breeze stirring the leaves above. There was a profound sense of safety here, an unspoken invitation to simply unwind and allow the valley to hold her. As Iris settled more deeply, her senses began to attune to the valley's subtle symphony. The rustling of leaves overhead was not a jarring sound, but a soft, almost musical murmur, like distant, hushed conversations. The very air seemed to carry a stillness that amplified these gentle sounds, making them more pronounced and therefore more soothing. She noticed the way the light seemed to have a texture, a soft, golden quality that coated everything it touched with a gentle luminescence, softening the edges of leaves and blades of grass alike. The warmth from the earth continued to seep upwards, a comforting sensation that began to relax muscles she hadn't even realized were tense, encouraging a surrender to the profound peace of this place. It felt as though the very act of breathing here was a healing process, drawing in tranquility and releasing all that no longer served. The character's initial feeling of slight disorientation, a common accompaniment to arriving in a new place, began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of belonging. It was as if the valley itself recognized her need for rest and was actively offering its embrace. The colors, predominantly soft greens and muted golds from the sunlight, seemed to vibrate with a gentle energy, creating a visual harmony that was profoundly calming. Even the shadows were soft and inviting, not stark or foreboding, but deep, cool pockets of respite that invited contemplation. Iris felt a quiet gratitude for this unexpected sanctuary, a place that promised not just rest, but a deeper restoration for the spirit. The sensation of the earth's warmth was like a constant, gentle affirmation, a reminder that she was held, supported, and cared for by the very ground beneath her. It was a deep, resonant warmth that seemed to penetrate beyond the skin, reaching into the core of her being, encouraging a release of all held tension. Her limbs felt heavy, but in a pleasant way, a sign of deep relaxation settling in. The subtle vibrations continued, a soft pulse that seemed to align with her own slowing heartbeat, creating a harmonious rhythm between her and the valley. It was a profound, yet simple communion. The air carried not just the scent of blossoms and earth, but a subtle, clean fragrance that spoke of undisturbed nature. It was a scent that cleared the mind and soothed the spirit, a pure aroma untainted by any worldly complexities. Iris closed her eyes, allowing the sensation of the warmth, the gentle vibrations, and the soft scents to wash over her, creating a cocoon of absolute tranquility. There was nothing to do, nowhere to be, only the profound experience of being present in this exquisitely peaceful place. The canopy above provided not just shade, but a living, breathing roof that filtered the sunlight into a gentle, artistic display. Each leaf seemed to move with a deliberate slowness, as if participating in a silent, graceful dance. The overall impression was one of enduring peace, of a place untouched by the urgency of the outside world, a true sanctuary designed for quiet rejuvenation. As Iris continued to rest, she felt a sense of quiet surrender begin to take hold. The need to do anything, to think about anything other than the present moment, simply dissolved. This was the essence of the Sun-Kissed Vale, an effortless invitation to be, to feel, and to heal, cradled by the gentle warmth and soft light. Chapter 2. The Earth's Gentle Hum. With a soft, unhurried exhale, Iris shifted her position, her movements fluid and unforced. As if guided by an unseen, gentle hand, her fingers, now accustomed to the earth's caress, reached out to explore the soil more intimately, sifting through its soft, velvety texture. The warmth that emanated from it was constant and unwavering, like the quiet, contented breathing of a sleeping creature, a deep, resonant heat that seemed to promise comfort and security. It was a sensation that spoke of nurturing, of life sustained beneath the surface, a silent promise of enduring peace. The soil itself felt rich and alive, teeming with unseen energies that communicated a profound sense of grounding. Near where her fingers rested, a small bell-shaped flower previously closed and unassuming began a slow, deliberate unfolding. Its petals, a delicate shade of pale gold, opened with a near imperceptible rustle, revealing a soft inner luminescence. This light pulsed gently, a soft rhythmic beat that cast a warm ethereal glow upon the surrounding earth, transforming the ordinary into the subtly magical. Iris observed this silent, graceful bloom with a quiet wonder, her heart resonating with the flower's gentle display. It was a moment of pure connection, a silent acknowledgement of the valley's unique, life-affirming energies. The very air around Iris seemed to thicken with the sweet, earthy fragrance, intensified by the presence of the now blooming flower. It was a perfume that was both grounding and uplifting, a delicate blend that spoke of deep roots and sun-kissed petals. She consciously drew this scent into her lungs, feeling it cleanse and refresh, and with each slow, deliberate breath, a sense of calm deepened within her. The valley was not just a place of visual beauty, but an immersive sensory experience designed to lull the senses into a state of profound peace. Iris realized that her own breathing had unconsciously begun to mirror the gentle pulse of the luminous flower, her inhales and exhales becoming slower, deeper, and more rhythmic. This synchronicity brought with it a sense of profound integration with her surroundings, a feeling of being truly a part of the valley's tranquil embrace. The concept of rushing, of hurry, seemed utterly foreign here, replaced by a simple, profound emphasis on simply being present, on observing and appreciating the quiet miracles unfolding around her. She noticed the way the light emanating from the flower interacted with the soft texture of the soil, creating a subtle glow that softened the very edges of reality. The world around her seemed to shimmer slightly, bathed in this gentle golden radiance, and any lingering anxieties she might have carried seemed to dissipate like mist under a rising sun. This was a place where simple, natural processes were imbued with a quiet magic, a gentle enchantment that fostered deep relaxation and well-being. The warmth of the earth continued to be a constant companion, a comforting presence that seeped into her very bones, loosening any held tension. It was a warmth that felt profoundly healing, a silent reassurance that she was safe and deeply cared for. Iris felt a sense of profound gratitude for this simple yet powerful sensation, a reminder of the Earth's enduring generosity and its capacity to offer solace. As she continued to observe, she noticed other small, bell-shaped flowers beginning to stir, their petals unfurling in a slow, synchronized ballet of light and warmth. The collective glow created a soft, radiant aura around her, bathing the clearing in a gentle, almost dreamlike luminescence. This was the valley's quiet greeting, its way of welcoming her into its heart. The experience was profoundly meditative. Each sensory input, the warmth, the scent, the gentle light, the soft texture of the soil, contributing to a deepening state of inner peace. There was a remarkable absence of any internal chatter, her mind now occupied solely with the gentle unfolding of the present moment, a state of pure, uncluttered awareness. Iris felt a deep, unhurried connection to the living earth, a sense of being an integral part of its slow, beautiful cycle. The valley's magic was not in grand gestures, but in the subtle, persistent whispers of its inherent, peaceful energy, a testament to nature's quiet power to restore and to heal. Chapter 3. Luminous Flora and Resonant Air. Drawn by the steady rhythmic pulse of a gentle golden light, Iris slowly rose from her resting place, her movements guided by an inner quietude rather than any conscious decision. She felt an irresistible pull towards a cluster of the luminous flora, their soft glow beckoning her deeper into the valley's embrace. As she approached, the radiant plants became clearer, their petals in shades of soft peach and rose, emitting a steady, comforting luminescence that washed over the surrounding landscape. This gentle light did not cast sharp shadows, but softened every surface, creating an ethereal, dreamlike atmosphere that further deepened her sense of peace. The air around this gathering of glowing plants felt distinctively different, not merely carrying a scent, but alive with a palpable sense of gentle energy. It was a stillness that hummed, a vibration felt more than heard, a subtle resonance that seemed to emanate from the very ground beneath her feet. This energy was not disruptive or exciting, but profoundly grounding, a low, comforting hum that seemed to vibrate in harmony with her own slowing heartbeat, easing any residual tension within her being. It was as if the earth itself was singing a silent song of deep relaxation. Iris found a small, clear space amongst the luminous flora and settled herself gently onto the soft, yielding earth. The sweet floral note of the flowers mingled with the deep, grounding aroma of the warm soil, creating a perfume that was both exquisite and profoundly calming. She closed her eyes, allowing the gentle light to play upon her eyelids, and focused her attention on the subtle vibration that now seemed to permeate her entire body. It was a physical manifestation of the valley's peaceful magic, a gentle current of well-being that soothed and restored. The experience was one of complete immersion, where the boundaries between herself and the environment began to blur. The warmth from the earth beneath her felt like an extension of her own being, and the gentle pulse of the Flora seemed to synchronize with her own slow, steady breaths. There was an exquisite simplicity in this connection, a profound beauty in simply being present and receiving the valley's gentle gifts. The outside world, with its demands and its noise, felt impossibly distant, irrelevant. She noticed how the light from the flowers intensified slightly as she settled more deeply, a subtle acknowledgement of her presence, a quiet encouragement to surrender fully to the moment. The colors shifted almost imperceptibly, from soft peach to gentle rose, creating a mesmerizing visual tapestry that held her attention without demanding it. This was nature's lullaby, a gentle symphony of light and warmth, designed to guide one into a state of deep, restorative peace. The feeling of being held by the earth was profound. It was a secure, grounding sensation that allowed her to release any remaining vestiges of apprehension. The gentle hum resonated through her, a comforting vibration that seemed to loosen the very fabric of tension within her muscles and mind. It was as if the earth was murmuring words of comfort and acceptance, reassuring her that she was exactly where she needed to be, safe and sound. Wren, a quiet presence who had also been drawn to the vale, sat a short distance away, their forms silhouetted softly by the glowing Flora. They offered a gentle smile of shared appreciation for the valley's beauty, a silent acknowledgement of the profound peace they both experienced. There was no need for extensive conversation, only a shared understanding that transcended words, a quiet communion born of mutual respect for this tranquil sanctuary. Iris felt a deep sense of gratitude for this immersive experience. The valley's magic was not forceful or overt, but subtle, pervasive, and deeply nurturing. It worked by gently enveloping the senses, by harmonizing with the body's natural rhythms, and by creating an atmosphere of profound, undisturbed calm. It was a potent reminder of nature's capacity for healing and restoration. As she continued to bask in the gentle glow and the resonant hum, Iris felt a profound sense of peace settle within her, a deep, unshakable calm that felt both ancient and entirely new. The valley's luminous flora and resonant air were not just elements of the landscape, but conduits of a gentle, restorative energy, guiding her towards a state of perfect tranquility. Chapter 4. Embracing the Deep Stillness. The world outside the Sun-Kissed Vale had, in essence, ceased to exist. Iris found herself entirely absorbed in the present moment, her breathing now perfectly attuned to the slow, steady pulse of the valley. The gentle hum of the earth resonated through her, not as an external vibration, but as a warmth emanating from within, a comforting thrum that settled deep into her bones. Her thoughts, once a lively stream, had softened into a gentle, meandering current, and soon even that quiet flow began to still, replaced by a profound, uncluttered awareness. The need to think, to plan, or to even recall the world she had left behind simply dissolved into the pervasive calm. Her attention now rested on the subtle interplay of light and shadow cast by the luminous Flora. She watched with quiet fascination as the soft peach and rose hues shifted and pulsed, bathing the clearing in a gentle, ethereal radiance. Each shift was a slow, deliberate movement, a visual lullaby that held her gaze without requiring effort. She traced the patterns on her hands, noting the way the dappled light seemed to soften the very contours of her skin, making her feel both present and gently dissolved into the landscape. There was a profound sense of acceptance in this moment. No striving, no wanting, only the exquisite experience of simply being. The warmth from the earth beneath her was a constant grounding presence, a secure foundation that allowed her to release any remaining vestiges of apprehension or tension. It felt like a physical embrace, a silent reassurance that she was held, supported, and utterly safe within the valley's tranquil confines. This deep, resonant warmth seeped into her very being, melting away any subtle knots of stress or unease she might not have even realized she was carrying. It was a profoundly healing sensation, a deep sigh of relief for the entire body. Wren, from their quiet spot nearby, offered another soft, knowing smile. Their posture was one of complete repose, their gaze fixed on the gentle dance of light, embodying the valley's profound stillness. There was an unspoken communication between them, a shared understanding of the deep peace that permeated the air, a recognition of the rare and precious quality of such undisturbed tranquility. The silence between them was not empty, but rich with shared appreciation for the present moment. Iris felt a deep sense of surrender wash over her. The urgency of the external world, the demands of daily life, all faded into an insignificant hum, a distant echo that held no power here. She was enveloped in a sanctuary of stillness, a place where the gentle rhythms of nature dictated the flow of existence, and where peace was not an absence of noise, but a tangible, enveloping presence. The valley's magic was in its quiet insistence on being, on existing in a state of perfect, undisturbed harmony. She found herself no longer observing the light or feeling the warmth as separate phenomena, but as integral parts of a single, beautiful experience. The light was warm, the warmth was luminous, and the earth was the source of it all. This interconnectedness fostered a sense of unity, a feeling of being seamlessly woven into the fabric of the valley itself. The subtle vibrations from the earth seemed to hum a tune of pure contentment, a melody that resonated deep within her soul. There was no need for effort, no requirement to achieve anything. The valley's gifts were offered freely, requiring only an open heart and a willingness to receive. Iris allowed herself to simply absorb the tranquil energy, to let the gentle magic work its restorative power without any conscious intervention. This effortless immersion was the most profound form of healing. And so, as this deep stillness enveloped her, Iris felt a sense of profound gratitude bloom within her chest. It was a quiet, radiant feeling, a recognition of the immense beauty and restorative power of the natural world when allowed to simply be. The valley's gifts were not just for the senses, but for the spirit, offering a balm to the weary soul. In this state of absolute peace, Iris felt a gentle unfurling within herself, like a flower slowly opening to the sun. The valley was not just a place of external beauty, but a catalyst for internal awakening, a serene haven where the deepest aspects of peace could be discovered and embraced. Chapter 5. Carrying the warmth within. With a slow, deliberate grace, Iris began to stir, the profound stillness of the sun-kissed vale having woven its gentle magic deep into her being. The transition from repose to gentle movement was fluid, unhurried, as if the valley itself were guiding her outward journey with the same soft touch it had used to welcome her in. The warmth of the earth, which had been a pervasive external sensation, now felt like an intrinsic part of her, a comforting internal glow that radiated from her core outwards. This was not merely a memory of the valley's embrace, but a tangible feeling, a quiet testament to the restorative power she had experienced. As she rose from her place amongst the luminous Flora, the soft rhythmic pulse of their light seemed to offer a gentle farewell, their petals emitting a final tender glow that warmed her senses. The air, still carrying the sweet fragrance of sun-warmed blossoms and rich soil, felt like a soft caress, a final gentle embrace from the valley itself. The subtle hum of the earth, once a vibration felt through her body, now seemed to echo softly in the quiet spaces within her mind, a gentle reminder of the deep peace she had found. These sensory impressions were not fading, they were being carried, woven into the very fabric of her being. Iris began her slow, unhurried departure, her steps light upon the yielding earth. The dappled sunlight, which had guided her into the vale, now seemed to illuminate her path outward, each beam a gentle blessing. She carried with her not just the memory of the tranquil landscape, but the palpable feeling of profound calm, a quiet understanding that this deep, resonant peace was now a gentle, ever-present companion. The valley had offered not just a respite, but a transformation, imbuing her with a serene stillness that promised to endure. Ren watched her go, offering a final serene nod of shared experience and quiet understanding. Their presence in the vale was a testament to its enduring power, and their gentle smile conveyed a deep appreciation for the shared moment of profound peace. Iris returned the smile, a silent acknowledgement of the mutual journey they had taken within this restorative sanctuary. The experience had left an indelible mark, a quiet certainty that the world held spaces of such profound tranquility, and that these spaces could be carried within. The valley's magic was in its subtle yet pervasive influence, its ability to gently shift one's internal landscape through immersion in natural harmony and sensory delight. It was a powerful lesson in the restorative potential of quietude. As Iris moved towards the edge of the vale, the scents and sensations of the outside world began to subtly reassert themselves, but they no longer held the same power. The inner warmth and the deep sense of calm acted as a gentle buffer, filtering the external, allowing her to engage with it from a place of quiet strength and centered peace. The valley's gift was a resilience of spirit, a quiet fortitude born of deep relaxation. The journey outward was as unhurried as the journey inward. There was no rush to return, only a gentle transition, a carrying forth of the peace discovered. The valley had offered a profound healing, a quiet restoration that extended far beyond the physical senses, reaching into the very core of her well-being. The memory of the valley's gentle hum, the soft glow of its flora, and the pervasive warmth of its earth were now deeply ingrained within her, a comforting inner sanctuary that could be accessed at any time. It was a quiet triumph, a testament to the power of nature to heal and to rejuvenate the spirit. Iris knew with a quiet certainty that the peace she had found in the Sun-Kissed Vale was not a fleeting experience, but a gentle, enduring presence that would continue to guide her, a soft light illuminating her path forward. The valley's song of warm earth now resonated within her, a melody of enduring calm.